What we're on right now is a hot mop built up roof. It's probably the best long-term solution for a flat roof. And we're just gonna go over some things to show you why it's important to do a roof maintenance program, okay? We need to get on it. After the fall, after the spring, for sure. It also ensures that your warranties stay in place with the manufacturer. We have to document all this. Right here's a perfect example of where you have a roof to wall area and we get in here and check all the seams. So where this seam comes up underneath this roof flashing is starting to let loose. I can kind of get my finger in there. It's not that big of a deal right now because we're catching it, but we need to get over here and just do some maintenance and seal this up and spread some new granules so water won't back up in there and get into the property. Unbelievably important to do. We're gonna catch it, prevent ceiling, wall, floor, all kinds of damage when we catch it. If we're not up here, we can't catch it. So here's an example of that being caught. This is probably about a year or two ago where one of these seams was starting to let go. We sealed it, cascaded granules over that to stop it, okay? No problem. Bobby, why don't you show one of the biggest things that we look for?
Yep. So these roof drains are supposed to prevent debris from filling up this drain hole. So this is clogged up, and it's got some pretty thick stuff in there, right? So it's going to be snaked out.
Looks like an animal's been trying to build something.
Yeah.
But we got to get all that out.
Because that's any kind of water is just going to sit right there and rise, and you don't want water to rise too much on these flat roofs, or you get leaks. So yeah, that's definitely a maintenance issue there. Stay on them and you won't get leaks.
We get up here and check all these too. See, this one needs some maintenance. It just happens with these Texas heat. Things start to open up, so we got to stay on them. And that's all hot mopped in. You can tell where the hot mop bleeds out of your cap sheet, which is good. That means you got a proper seal, but this needs some maintenance.
So here's kind of another issue too. Again, these clogged up.
Gotta get all that crap out of there.
Yeah, you're gonna need a big old long rod that goes all the way down.
Oh man, that's clogged up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Hey, got it loose. That was it.
All right.
So now it'll drain water.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to do. We run these PVC pipes from the HVAC units because when that sucker's kicking on, it's up further to you. See, there goes the water. It just wasn't lined up right.
You can put it on top. Oh, well, that's just because the...
Go back further.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. Get a little bit closer to that drain so it's not flooding the roof.
And that's a big maintenance thing. In the summertime, when these units are basically running non-stop, quite a bit of water comes out of these units from the coils evaporating. And we want to make sure and keep that water away from the actual unit. If that's not on there, all the water is just going to pile up around the actual, your mechanical unit, the HVAC system. And that's really bad for all of your penetration points where the curb comes up. We want to get the water off and into the drain. Here's another reason that doesn't have anything to do with us, that we help identify for you, the client. Very simple little issue right here where the cap came off that somebody's tried to duct tape on. I mean, something that simple, now we see it, can be fixed. We just need to clamp that down mechanically instead of whoever tried to do it with duct tape. Clearly that didn't work. But see, now you've got an electrical hazard where water's gonna get in there. We check all your pitch pockets. Make sure these are sealed up. That one looks good. What else, Bobby?
Well, you got all this debris. It don't look like much right now, but the next time it rains real heavy, all this debris is going to funnel toward the drain. And that's where you get the clogged drains. You know, those guards are good at, you know, keeping most of it out, but it's going to get some in there. One of the other things that we do when we do a maintenance program is we look at this coping cap. So everywhere there's a seam, we make sure that that is sealed properly, because this cap sheet runs up and it should run over, which I'm pretty sure it does.
It does.
But the last thing you want is just water getting in past this coping cap and find its way down. Water will win every time. It'll go in the smallest crevices and cracks it can find. Again, we got more leaves, more debris build up, so
we're gonna have to come back with material and probably a labor hand or two to do some more permanent repairs. But the beautiful part about us coming out consistently is, you know, our project manager that comes to do the inspection can typically knock out whatever's really needed while we're here. And so the cost is very minimal to the property owner when we stay on it. When we gotta come back out and, you know, with a small crew to do more invasive repairs, that's still just a repair instead of a replacement, right? So that's good. So the more frequent, the better. It actually costs considerably less the more we come out, because we can stay on it before it gets inside of walls, before pipes start to operate in the wrong way. I mean, when water backs up in those pipes, we've had calls with issues on that. So unbelievably important to do your roof maintenance on your flat commercial properties. 972-5-ROOF-52. Just come out and check it out. There's several seams that are failing and drains that need to be cleaned out. This is past what we can just do with our hands. Here's your standing seam. We didn't put this on. He didn't elect to replace this, but I mean, it's actually in good shape.
but it still needs to be sealed.
Yeah.
Need to do a pretty big overhaul on this whole property.
Somebody's been up here since we have. I'm noticing a couple little bitty things that we didn't do. Oh, this is hilarious. I was hoping for this to turn off because I'm afraid it's going to pick up the air conditioner, but this is why you need to maintain your roof. There's a tree growing out of this pipe, right? You'd be surprised how, oh my gosh, what is that? Is that electric? No. But yeah, look at this.
You just plant that somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to get it off. Get it off the roof. Tree, grow, baby, grow. That's a lot happier place for the little tree. So yeah, we're having fun talking about these things because they're not too bad. It's probably been, what, 6-8 months since we've been up here, Bobby?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
At least 6 to 8 months. And there's trees growing and drains clogged and, you know, seams that need to be sealed up, and it's just maintenance. It is what it is. So I hope that helps you guys see the reality and the necessity of properly maintaining your roof. Just because the manufacturer says it's a 20, 30, 40, 50 year roof doesn't mean you don't have to maintain it, right? Your truck is supposed to drive for 150, 250,000 miles. You still got to change the oil and the tires and the brake pads and all that good stuff. That's what this is. And if you do that, it'll protect everything that's underneath it, because
what's under your roof matters most.